Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Shadows of Brimstone Forbidden Fortress. We're going to be moving into our second mission in our campaign, and of course we have our assassin and our monk. They have been doing a great job. They made it through the first one and got some dark stones. We also powered them up a little bit, and I asked for some help on their new abilities, and we're going to get to those very soon. But first, I want to show you the adventure we're going to be playing. We're going to be moving into the second adventure, which is exploration. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, this exploration is actually the second mission of the campaign. I had actually a back and forth in the comments section, and I was almost going to do the Seal the Gate, but I have a special guest joining us for the second mission. Colin over at One Stop Co-op Shop is going to play this game with us. He's recording with me, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to do the exploration mission. It's going to be a fantastic journey. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second mission. You have been hired by a local samurai warlord to investigate and clear out the home of one of his daimyo lieutenants that was overrun by creatures in the night. He will pay you well to dispose of any remaining demons or evil spirits that haunt this small fortress. He assures you that it's a modest castle, and surely most of the creatures that killed his lieutenant have moved on by now. Sounds simple, right? It always does. Now, each mission in Shadows of Brimstone is set up a little bit different. This one says that the mission starts from the fortress entrance map tile, leading directly into a T-junction map. So all heroes will start at the fortress entrance map tile as normal. I'm going to remove the T-junction map card from the fortress map deck. Note that the hero party marker is not moved forward a step on the depth track for this T-junction. You'll see how that works in the playthrough. Our mission goal, the heroes must explore the entire fortress, not including any gates they might find along the way, and defeat all enemies they come across to successfully complete this mission. There are many special rules in Shadows of Brimstone for each mission. The ones for this one is, first off, limited doors. All exploration tokens with the clue icon have one less door or gate on them, the hero's choice, and you'll see how that works again during the playthrough. Anytime you reveal an exploration token, roll a d6 for each door or gate icon on that token. On a roll of 4+, ignore that door. While the hero party marker is in the middle of the stage on the depth track, ignore it on a 3+. And while the hero marker is in the last stage of the depth track, ignore all door and gate tokens automatically. Our other special rules are dead-end showdowns. Whenever a dead-end room is found, a map tile that has no exit, roll a d6. If I get a 1, I have to add an epic threat to the exploration token, which is the hardest threats in the game. Also on a 2 to 3, I'm going to add a normal threat to the exploration token. And if I get a 4 through 6, there are no extra threats here. Immediate dread is the final special rule. For this mission, growing dread cards are revealed immediately when drawn, rather than being placed in a stack. Of course, our objective is that once the heroes have explored the entire fortress, all paths lead to a dead-end room. If a room has only gates as exits, this counts as a dead end. They must defeat any remaining enemies on the board to complete the mission. Of course, we can't have a mission without rewards. So of course, each hero will receive 25 experience points, as well as 50 times the number of steps on the depth track the hero party marker is from the fortress entrance space. For example, if the hero party marker is on 10 space of the depth track when the fortress has been fully explored, each hero will earn $300, 50 times 6 steps from the fortress entrance. There is, of course, also a failure result, which I hope we don't see. I hope we get through this. If all heroes fail the mission, the darkness escapes the fortress and lays waste to the roads and villages in the area. When the heroes travel to town after this adventure, they must roll twice to see if they add a travel hazard to the journey. Also, one random building in the town will have been destroyed by the escaping darkness. Our first character on our adventure is going to be our assassin. She is going to be using her ninjutsu, shurikens, and she has running assault. She was able to pick up the demon ring in our first mission. She's a member of the Lotus clan and has a family heirloom that is a crest, which gives +1 spirit, and I can also once per adventure cancel a darkness card. Now, of course, our assassin is level 2 for having making it through the first adventure. And so when that happens, you're able to choose a path to go down, and then you have to decide what is your adventure is going to become. Now, of course, here's all the different paths that we can do. The one that got the most votes is Ninja. So we're going to have deadly accuracy once per fight. When you roll a critical hit to on a 2-hit roll, you may return one of your other normal hits for that attack into a critical hit as well. So we're going to be able to do that. So if we rolled a 6, that's going to be a critical hit. Of course, our ninjutsu, this kind of combos a little bit. Your combat hits are criticals on a hit of 5+. So she's going to be able to crit on a 5, and if the other die was a 4, it would be able to turn that die to a crit as well. So she's going to be doing crit monster work. That's the plan. That's our assassin. She also, like I said, has some shurikens, and she can move an extra space. And she also is able to ready these shurikens after they're thrown. Normally these can only be used once. She can ready them to be able to throw 2. Our traveling monk is our second person in our party. He also is with us on our first mission. He has an ability that has to do with ki, and it's all up here on his card, and we'll see how that works during the adventure. He also has his starting equipment of old lantern and a monk's staff. He has an acrobatic flip that allows him to kind of move around a lot better. Once per turn, you may re-roll one of your failed defenses rolls, and also I can spend key tokens for movement, gaining an extra 2 every time I spend a token. I get Scribe's Ink, which gives me +1 lore, and also once per adventure, you may, when a hero rolls an injury or madness chart, you may allow them to re-roll the die. I have a Sacred Bell that's going to be good for helping with protection, and I was able to find a Healing Stone. Once per adventure, heal 2d6 wounds, sanity, any mix from a single hero. Now, it doesn't have to be him, it could be anybody else. That's him. Now, of course, he is 2nd level, and so he was also able to learn something from the trees that he is having to do. So we have our monk right here. Our monk has mythic lore. It was the fan favorite. It says, do not fear. Myth and demon enemies do 1 less damage to you on all their hits to a minimum of 1. You are immune to the enemy ability Fear, and that's going to be huge. I can hardly wait to be able to take advantage of this. It's going to be awesome. So that is our traveling monk. Now, one thing I forgot to mention for our ninja is all the different tokens that we have. He has 1 grit he's carrying over. He also has a tonic, and he has a lot of darkstone. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 darkstone, and he has these inside his Tengu chest. Now he's also going to carry 1 other darkstone as well outside of the chest. So that's our traveling monk. Our assassin, on the other hand, is carrying over 2 grit, and she also has a potion and a sake, and she also is going to carry 1 of the dark stones. That's going to be in her side bag. I can only hold a total of 5 things. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. These aren't in the side bag. Now this is in a chest, so these don't count. And I don't think this darkstone count towards your side bag items. Only the tokens that have to do with like tonics and sake and potions and things like that. Also, during the town phase, our traveling monk purchased a key-centered wrap that is going to give us +2 health, and once per turn, I can spend a key token to heal 1 sanity damage. This may not be further enhanced with key, so it gives him a better chance of being able to heal more, and he also has a total of 14 health now. Also, while visiting the shrine, we were able to gain a couple auras. His aura is, he has the aura of shadows. So for the next adventure, he'll be able to pass all escape tests on a 2+. So if we try to move away from a monster, we only have to roll a 2+ and he can break away. Now, of course, I didn't give that to the assassin. The assassin has an aura as well. Her aura is the aura of fortitude. For the next adventure, I get spirit armor 5+. For being level 2, our monk also got a couple extra bonuses as well. He has +1 to his agility and +1 lore. So this is a 3 and his lore is now a 4. So whenever you take tests with those, he gained a little bit extra bonus for being level 2. Our assassin also got a couple upgrades. She was able to take spirit +1 and also luck +1. And that means that it's going to bring her spirit up to 2, which is pretty good because it's only a 1. And it's going to bring her luck up to a 3, so that'll help a lot too. This spirit I was really worried about, so it's good that she got more in that. Now, of course, he's still stuck with a 1 cunning, so hopefully he doesn't have to take too many cunning tests. Those are our 2 characters that we used in our last playthrough. We're going to go ahead and check out our new ones. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be bringing in more characters. The next hero that's going to be joining our group is our Samurai Warrior. He is right here. Now he has to do a lot with Fury, and you'll see how that works during the playthrough. He gets to start with some starting equipment, and being a samurai, oh, he's loaded. He's got a samurai helmet, which allows him to, once per turn, when you kill an enemy, you gain a Fury. So he's already starting to gain some of that Fury on his equipment here. He also gets his samurai armor, which gives him a 5+ armor, +2 health, and -1 initiative. So that means instead of having a 3 initiative, he's only going to have a 2. but he does have 14 health with that armor. Now, of course, as you play through the game, you might upgrade this armor and you might get your 3 initiative back. Or you might just sell the armor off and you might not think you need it. Who knows? Now, of course, he also has a wonderful katana here. Warrior's Katana. It gets +1 combat, and once per turn, I can spend 2 fury to add +1 damage to one of your combat hits. Now, of course, he starts with a 2 combat, which means I can roll 2 dice when I attack. This is going to give me an extra one, so now I'm rolling 3. These are the stats he needs in order to hit with either a range or melee attack. And right here, I get to start with 2 random warrior, samurai, battle tactics cards. I draw 3 and choose 2. Battle tactics may each only be used once per turn. And here's Battle Fury. Anytime you do 1 or more wounds to an enemy with a combat hit, I gain a Fury token. So he's going to be piling on Fury tokens, and he'll be able to use them for damage and also be able to use his samurai battle tactics. The next thing we have to do is we have to grab a personal item. So we're going to give this little deck here a truffle shuffle. Everybody gets a personal item. Now this personal item can never be removed or sold. This is the item that is straight on from this person, maybe heritage or something. He has a banner of a fallen house. Wow, that's actually pretty thematic. He gets +1 strength and he has +2 corruption resistance. That's going to be really good. Now, of course, his strength is his highest score. It would have been, sometimes it's better to hopefully get the ones that help you with scores you're not so good with luck, for example, but he didn't get that. He got a banner of the fallen house, which still is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. The +2 resistance and the strength is going to be really cool. Now, of course, strength does not actually help in combat, but it'll help during some other tests that we might be taking as we're playing through the game. The next thing we need to do for our samurai is we have to choose your starting upgrade. Now each character comes with 3 cards that are going to let him upgrade his start as a character upgrade. So he could do Rising Sun, where once per turn I can use 1 grit to add +2 damage to one of your combat hits. That's not too bad, but grit's not exactly the easiest thing to come by. Whenever you hold the darkness as failed, you get to recover a grit on a D4. I'm not really digging that one. I'm going to put that one to the side. That one, unless I don't like these other ones, that might be it. Wall of Steel. Once per turn, you may re-roll one of your failed armor rolls just rolled. Okay, that sounds better than the one we just had over there. Determination. +2 max fury. Whenever you take 1 or more wounds from an enemy attacks, gain 1 fury. So he's going to be gaining fury when he gets hit and when he hits. Now again, getting hit is probably not our plan. We're going to go with Wall of Steel. Now, of course, this could really alter our character because the next thing we have to do is go ahead and take our battle tactics. And if you look at some of these tactics, this is the cost in fury it costs to play this card. So if I pull ones that cost a lot of fury and I didn't take the one that gives me potentially more fury faster, this could be a bad card to have. But I think it's going to be good to have this defense. That's what we're going to go with. Could be a bad idea. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to mix up these battle tactics cards now for our samurai. We're going to draw 3 and pick 2. That's going to be what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take this one, and that one. Those are our 3 battle tactics. Let's go ahead and take a look. We have, oh look, see there's a 4. Furious Slash. Gain +2 combat for 1 attack. So instead of rolling 2 dice, I'm going to be rolling 4 dice, plus of course my sword for 5 dice. That's an amazing amount of dice. You may not gain fury tokens from this extra combat dice, so we have to keep them separate. Okay, we got Challenge. What's this? 2. Limit once per fight. Use at the start of a turn to select an enemy model on the board with the highest remaining health to challenge. Choose if tied. Until the end of the fight, that enemy will always prioritize you as a target, and both you and the enemy model are +2 damage on all attacks against one another. If you kill that enemy, gain an extra 20 experience points, or 40 if it's a large or bigger character, and recover 1 grit. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Then we got Shoulder to Shoulder. You and each adjacent hero gain +1 to your defense rolls until the end of the turn. Defense rolls that roll a natural 1 do not gain the +1. All right, so we have 3 to choose from. 1 takes 2 and 2 take 4. So these are our different tactics that we can have. And since Colin is going to be playing this character, I'm going to go ahead and let him choose which 2 he wants to use. And we'll talk about them before we actually start our play. The final thing our samurai warrior can do is add 1 consumable to his side bag there, and he can gain a special side bag type token called the Fire Sake. When this is drank, he's going to gain 3 fury. He could take anything else as well, but that's the one we've decided to choose for him. Now, of course, that's the end of our samurai. We got them all set to go, but of course, Colin's going to choose which one of those 3 he wants to use. The final member of our group is going to be our Sorceress. She is also going to join our party. She's obviously built on magic and the arcane arts. She does get a starting equipment card. She does have her Roku Demon Bag. At the start of the adventure, remove all tokens from this item that are placed here. Then roll D6 arcane powder tokens. I may discard an arcane powder token from here to add +1 to each this casting total of my spell when I am casting a spell. She's, of course, all about casting spells. It's going to be awesome. Now, she starts with a lot of interesting things. The first thing is, instead of drawing one of her starting upgrades, she actually gets to start with this Elemental Blast. It's a free starting upgrade. I can use 2 mana to fire an Elemental Blast as your ranged attack. This counts as a spell with the same keyword as your magic focus of your element, but no casting rolls needed. A range of 8 shots won. Each hit roll counts as D3 hits on the target. A critical hit rolled counts as D3 critical hits. That's her Elemental Blast. Now on top of that, she does get to choose a starting upgrade. But first we have to grab our personal item because that'll be awesome. This is one of my favorite parts, these personal items. They're so kind of cool. They really flesh out a character. All right, here's her personal item. It is a tarnished coin. Once per adventure, fully heal your sanity and recover 1 grit. Well, that's kind of funny because that's her best stat is sanity. Too bad it doesn't heal her health. That'd be probably a little better. But that's okay. Once per adventure, you fully heal your sanity and recover 1 grit. That's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and keep that. That's pretty cool. All right, now of course we get to go ahead and now grab our starting upgrade. So of course our Sorceress has 3 other upgrades along with her Elemental Blast. She has Arcane Protection. Once per turn, you may reroll a single failed defense or willpower roll. Now her defense is 5 and 4 right now. And it also says you may ignore the effects of enemy spell affecting you on a roll of 4+ on a D6. Next we have Demon Fireclaw. I can use a grit to gain +2 combat until the end of their turn. And she has 2 combat right now, so it would be 4, but I have to spend a grit. And it says on any turn in which this is used, your combat hits are +1 damage each, or +2 damage against demon enemies. That'd be really good. Now I think this would be really good if you're playing solo or playing with maybe 2 characters that might have to get her up in front. We're going to keep her back though. Blood of the Dragon. At the start of your activation, each turn heal D3 wounds, and I'm immune to... Oh, this is like a no-brainer, I would think. I'm going to take the Blood of the Dragon. That's going to be her starting upgrade. Wow, that sounds awesome. Not to mention this, she can fully heal her sanity, and now she can continuously heal her wounds. Oh, I hope that's going to be a really good combo. We're going to keep that going. Now she gets to go ahead and grab some spells. The spells available to me are written right here. We have, starts with 2 elemental magic spells. For each spell select an element and draw 2 cards. Choose one, keep and discard the other. Each spell may only be cast once per turn. She also has a magic focus. As a starting hero, choose 1 element, earth, wind, fire, or water to be your focus. From now on, you are +1 to casting total when casting spells of that element. Also, I get the ancient arts. I am not able to use guns, so I can't use guns at all. All right, but also here are my starting things. I get my starting upgrade, Elemental Blast, and a Roku Demon Bag. All right, that's her. She's awesome. Now, of course, she does start with 4 mana. So like I said, here's the Elemental Blast. It's going to cost us 2 if we want to use it. We'd still have 2 more mana to do something else with. We have to choose what element we want to be part of. There are many different elements in this game. There's water, wind, earth, and fire. And each one comes in a deck of 6 cards in the base game. So we have 6 water, 6 fire, 6 earth, and 6 wind. And I have to choose what elements I want to get my spells from. And I don't know what spells I'm going to get. Now, I think it would be best to gain them from the same element. Therefore, when you choose your focus, you're going to be able to get +1 towards those spells. At least that's my guess as to how to play a character like this. You're plus from casting a spell from that element. Now, water, let's go ahead and look at a few of these. This is the amount it's going to cost to cast the spell. This is the mana it costs, and this is what it's going to do. So we have some, and they're going to range anywhere from super hard, which then also is a dangerous symbol on it. If you roll doubles when casting this spell, you could possibly gain corruption, which could taint the character and gain you'll gain some, you're going to mutate in things in a different part, things are going to happen to you, but it could be good, they could be bad. If you get too many of them, of course, you will cease to exist and turn into one of these kind of monsters and flee away. So each of these spells does have a different casting value, 6, 7, 8, 10, 8, 8, 10, 11. Okay, so that's the water magic. We also have the wind, earth, fire, and we're gonna see which ones we want. I'm gonna have to look and see which one. Oh, I don't know. Wind sounds pretty cool. We might have to go with wind. Earth, though, I bet I can move some rocks. Water, not bad shooting water. And fire, I'm sure that's all attack spells. She's wearing a red kimono. We're gonna go ahead and take fire. That's gonna be our plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and give these cards a truffle shuffle here. I'm gonna draw 2, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick one. So we're gonna take the top 2. We have gotten Melt as a mana cost of 1, range 5. Now this could cause corruption. Choose a model within range. The target model takes X wounds, ignoring defense and armor, where X is equal to the target's defense value. If the target has armor, it takes an extra 3 wounds. Oh, wow, that's really good. Do not gain XP for models wounded or killed with this spell. Okay, but you do get 25 for casting it. It's 11 though. And we got Fireball. I think we already figured out which one we're taking. Mana cost of 2, use this spell as a ranged attack. Range 8, choose a space within line of sight and roll to hit. If missed, bounce D3 times like a bomb. Any model in the final space takes D6 wounds, ignoring defense, while every model in the adjacent space takes D3 wounds, ignoring defense. Wow, any corpse token in the same or adjacent space where this fire... Oh yeah, we're totally taking this because I don't like corpse tokens. We're taking Fireball. That's going to be our first one. Now again, I can choose another spell. I like to start with 2 elemental magic spells. For each elemental magic spell picked, I get to draw 2 cards and keep 1. So we're again going to give these big old truffle shuffle here, draw a couple cards and see what we get. We're going to take these 2. We have gotten Burning Storm. Use this spell as a ranged attack. Now this is a 3 cost. Choose a space within range and line of sight. It erupts in flame. Every model in and adjacent to the chosen space take a number of hits equal to your hero level. These hits are +1 damage. Heroes take 2 wounds per hit, while enemies take D6 wounds +1 wounds per hit. Wow, this spell may only be successfully cast once per adventure. Ooh, maybe that might not be too bad. I could use it on a boss or something. And we got Dragon Fire. This spell is a ranged attack. Place the flame template as described in the rules. Every model touched by the template takes 1 hit that does D8 damage, ignoring armor and cover. Any corpse token touched is destroyed on a D6. Oh man, this is a tough choice. Oh, I have to figure out what I'm going to do. We're going to take Dragon Fire. Again, the reason I'm taking this one is because, well, this might be better off later down the line when you're a higher level, because it only does 1 of these. It takes equal hits are equal to your hero level, and they're +1 damage. So actually the hit's only 1, because I'm only here level 1 right now. So we're not going to take Burning Storm at this point, but as she levels up, maybe we'll go in that direction. Now, of course, I do get to choose a side bag item, which is going to be our bandage. It's going to be able to heal D6 wounds, and she only has 6, that's why, or 10, sorry. She only has 10 health. That's why I've decided to go that route. Those are all our characters. Let's go ahead and set up our map and begin our playthrough. Are you excited to see Shadows of Brimstone Forbidden Fortress? And do you think our characters can make it through the second mission? If so, then I need you to meet me at the table. We're going to go ahead and set our heroes up. We have our samurai here. He's going to go ahead and start right here. Then we're going to go ahead and set our sorceress up. She is right here. She's got her fireball. That's another reason why I took fireball. Look at that. Oh, that looks awesome. All right, she's going to go in the back there. We, of course, have our monk. Here's our monk. He's right here. He's got his bell. Now he also has the light source. He also is carrying light, by the way, which is kind of important because if you ever walk too far away from him, you're going to potentially start taking horror hits and things. Here's our assassin, all painted up, ready to go. Our characters are going to start right there. We're also going to take our 2 markers, our hero party marker, and start here. We have entered the fortress, and then we have our darkness marker. We're going to put this right here. Now, of course, as this goes up and down, things are going to happen. So our hold back the darkness right now is over here, and it's going to start slowly ticking down in this direction. Now, of course, as we go farther into the fortress, we're going to be gaining, it's going to be harder and harder to hold back the darkness. Right now it's a 7+, and it's been 8+, and then 9+. And this is showing how far we're getting in the actual fortress by showing room to room. You always move that up. If you fail the darkness roll, this is going to move down, and if it ever gets to the fortress entrance, the darkness has left the fortress and you have lost, and that's bad news. We have our map deck. We're going to go ahead and put that right here. When we move into another room, we'll draw that map. And for the sake of filming, the way I do this is that as we move through the fortress, I know we might have to backtrack, and I'll remember how the thing goes. We're only going to see the tile we come from and the tile we're going to. But of course, I will keep the rest of the map intact because we might have to backtrack in this mission since we're exploring the entire fortress. With that, we are ready to start Forbidden Fortress. I'm super excited to do this. Let's go ahead and start with turn 1.
The Samurai Warrior, who I'm hoping you guys can help with naming him, he gets to choose 2 battle tactics. Now, we randomly chose 3, and these are the 2 I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick shoulder to shoulder, so you and each adjacent hero gain +1 to your defense rolls until the end of the turn. Defense rolls that roll a natural 1, though, do not get the +1. Then, my second one that I chose is the Furious Slash, and I should say both of these are going to cost 4 Fury for me to activate. Gain +2 combat for 1 attack. Yes, you may not gain Fury tokens from the for these extra combat dice. Next, we're going to do some Holding Back of Darkness. Let's see if we can get a 7 or higher. Oh yeah, that's 8. We're good.
Next, we're going to go ahead and move our characters in initiative order, and of course, Kasumi, our Black Lotus, she gets to go first. So we're going to go ahead and roll her movement die. She got a 2. Now, of course, she does get +1 move because of her running assault power that she has. So she's going to be able to move a total of 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Now, she ignores other models when she moves, so I can just jump right over Shintaro. Haha.
Next to go will be Shintaro. Shintaro will first gain his first key. I love the key. We can use it for movement and lots of other things. Let's go ahead and roll our movement die. We get to move 3. We're going to move 1, 2, 3. We're going to go right beside our awesome assassin.
The next activate is going to be our Sorceress. Now, if I remember right, we're not allowed to scavenge on the first tile. If I'm wrong, please let me know, but I believe you can't. So we're not actually going to scavenge on this first tile. The other thing we have to do for our Sorceress is she has to go ahead and start with her Roku Demon Bag. And right down here it says, the adventure, remove all the tokens, and then I have to roll d6 to see how many arcane powder tokens I gain that are going to help me cast spells. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and roll that die and see how many of those powders we get. We got 1. Well, I guess she didn't come too prepared this time. All right, so she's got 1 powder, and she has initiative 3, so she's going to go next. She's going to go ahead and roll up her movement die and see how this goes. She has to move 2, not too bad. She's going to go 1, 2, right to there. And now we're going to move into our last character's turn.
Well, our slow samurai will go next. He will roll up. He rolls a 6. He may be slow, but he's fast at moving. So he's going to do a little dance. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then why the heck not? Let's move 1 more. We'll move to 6. And then that means we can do a scavenge. So I get to roll 3 dice. I'm looking for a 6. You guys, I can do a 6. No, we can't. So we didn't find anything. Bummer. That was a nice quick first turn, Baron. Let's go ahead and start the next one. We'll try and hold back the darkness. 7 or higher. No, that's definitely a failure. So because I failed to roll a 7, we're actually going to move this green one 1 space down. And remember, we lose the game when that green one gets to the bottom of this track.
Moving into our hero's turn, we are going to start with Kasumi again with that 6 initiative. She was pretty impressed by that guy's movement. She's hopefully going to do as good as that. She got a 5. Oh, you bet she did. She got a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, well, she's going to go this way, and she's hoping the rest of the gang does, because otherwise things can get real bad real quick for her. She didn't make it to here where we could peer into the next room, but I do get to scavenge in this room. So we're going to go ahead, roll 3 dice. Come on, 6 plus. Oh, I also did not get to scavenge, but that's okay. That's the end of her turn.
Shintaro will go next and gain that 2nd key token. He is going to roll for his movement. His movement is 3. Gosh, still not great. He will move 1, 2, 3. That does mean he'll be allowed to scavenge. He's just into that other room. Let's see if he can find anything. And he does! That's great. So what we'll do is we'll grab our scavenger cards. I'll go ahead and give them a little bit of a shuffle, just like Barrett does. I gotta be like Barrett. Come on. Then we'll go ahead and reveal this one. Oh, you know what? Just like Barrett, nothing here. But we did gain 10 XP. So now that we're playing with 4 characters, we do get to scavenge twice in a room, so we'll still place that token there, just like he did in his last play, but we get to scavenge there 1 more time.
Our Sorceress is going to go next, and again, hey, give me some great names for our Sorceress. She's going to be awesome, and I need to know some awesome names. She's going to go ahead and move. She rolled up a 2. Well, one thing she's not awesome at is moving really fast. She's going to go right there. She's just going to hold on, and we're going to move into our Samurai's turn.
To close out the hero's turn, it'll be our Samurai Warrior. He will roll a 1. That means he gains a grit. That will be his 2nd grit. The max amount of grit that you can have is 2, so he will have 2. He will move a whopping 1 space, right there, and then he'll go ahead and try and scavenge. Let's see if he can do a little bit better than the, oh, actually the monk did pretty well. Oh, and he got a 6, great. So that means we'll do some more scavenging. Let's see what he finds. Give this a good shuffle, and we'll go ahead and pick a good one this time. What do you think? Let's see. Oh, we found a hideous discovery. That's great. Poking around in the shadows, you see something that chills you to the bone. You quickly return to the group, refusing to speak of what you found. Take 3 horror hits that do 2 sanity damage each, but I do gain 10 XP. Whenever you're taking horror hits, you can always save with your willpower. So I'm going to roll 3 dice. I'm looking for a 4 or higher. Let's see how we can do. I got 1, 2 I failed, so that means I'll take 2 sanity damage. Unfortunately, that's 2 per hit, so that means I'm taking 4 sanity damage. Oh my goodness. That means our poor samurai warrior, he must have seen something terrible, only has 6 sanity left. Well, it may be taking us a while to get out of this room, but let's go ahead and try and hold back that darkness again. And we rolled doubles though, but that's 8, so that's over the 7.
So good news, bad news. The 8 means we actually held back the darkness. The bad news is we got doubles. So according to this thing, we are going to have splintered collapse. The broken and splintered ceiling of the fortress is unstable and prone to collapse. Each hero in the fortress immediately takes 3 hits that do 2 wounds each. Now, of course, we can save these, but wow, that's a lot of hits. We'll start with our assassin. Come on, dodge those hits. Oh, well, I got 2, which means 2 wounds each hit. I'm taking 4. Our assassin got somewhat wounded. Now let's see what happens to our monk.
Our monk is trying to roll a 4 or higher for defense and stopped all of it. Beautiful.
Our sorceress is rocking a 5 defense. Oh, I've seen this before. Let's do it. Oh no, she got none. She's going to take 6 damage. That's going to be pretty brutal. I'm going to put a 1 here. And then I'm also going to use one of these 5-pointers as well. So she's up to 6 wounds. She only has 4 health left. Oh, we got to try to get her healed. I think she might have to try to get next to that monk.
Our samurai warrior gets to roll 3 dice looking for a 3+ for this. Oh, beautiful. 2 5s and a 4.
The Black Lotus, apparently his agility didn't work too well. She got hit with all those boards, but she's going to go ahead and move now. She's going to roll her dice. She got a 3 + 1 is 4. Now I can only really go 1 space, and I'm going to now peer through that door, which is going to give me some experience. And I get to draw a map deck card and see what is in the next room. We have found a dojo. So I'm going to go ahead and place this dojo down on the map. Our dojo is out on the board. We did explore, so we're going to go ahead and move that up 1, and I'm going to take our top exploration token and place it in the room. Now that I've looked through the door, these other characters can still come in, but of course, without revealing the exploration token, we don't know what's in this room until the end. So it could be kind of dangerous coming in this room, but hey, we got to find those exits. I'm in both of the rooms, so Kasumi's actually going to scavenge, but she's going to scavenge that room. We're going to roll our dice here. Oh, well, she didn't find anything. That was awesome.
Shintaro's going to go next. He's going to gain another key token. And also, we did forget to place another scavenge token in our specific room. Remember, I've searched and found nothing, and then I also found something horrible. So let's go ahead and activate our traveling monk by rolling some dice and see his movement. He's got a movement of 2. So that was a pretty terrible roll if you ask me. So what I'm going to do is use my acrobatic flip. You may spend key tokens for movement, gaining 2 extra move for each key token spent. If you move through other models, you can do that, which is great. Normally you can't. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 key token, leaving me with 2 left, and I can move a total of 4. But really, I just want to be able to move right here. That way I can get to I can be adjacent to as many heroes as possible, and hopefully do some healing.
Our sorceress with her initiative 3 is going to go ahead and move. She got a 2. Oh, that was pretty terrible. 1, 2. Now, sadly, I really want to get next to that monk. So I'm going to go ahead and use my grit. And this is going to allow me to go ahead and add an extra d6 to your move. Now, note that if I roll a 1, I do not recover another grit. So we're going to go ahead and roll another die. Let's get a good number. We got to get next to that monk. Oh, I got a 4. That's perfect. 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to stop right there so he can kind of get through if we need to.
Finally, the samurai warrior is going to go. He's going to move a total of 6. Wow, that's wonderful. He's going to definitely move 1, 2, and I think he might even move 3, get himself into here. He does have a bit of sanity damage, but he doesn't have any health damage. So that's why I feel like him being up there, he can hopefully try and help tank some of these enemies.
That's the end of all of our activations, so now we get to explore. Let's see what this token is. Hopefully it's something nice. Be happy bunnies. Oh no, but it's an encounter with one of these quest markers, and also look at this, it has a gate. Wow, that's pretty cool. So our encounter token does, of course, have a clue token on it, which means there's one less gate or door on this token, which means this is actually a dead-end room. But I'm actually going to go ahead and put the gate just for thematic purposes, because the next mission we're going to probably do is seal the gate. So this way we kind of see what a gate is, and we're not going to have to deal with it, though, in this adventure. I'm just pretending it's there, so it kind of gives that more thematic feel. Now, of course, we do have to draw an encounter, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's see what our encounter says. It says, fallen bodies. The area is littered with the bloody and broken bodies of fallen samurai. As you step over the dead, a cold shiver runs down your spine. Now we're going to have to test luck 5. If successful, you find something of value among the bodies. Draw a loot card. If failed, place a corpse token in any space adjacent to you. Then, at the end of the turn, roll for corpse token rising up, as though it were a fight. Oh man, there's a lot we got to deal with on that card. The symbol, of course, on our card means that all heroes have to take this test. Oh, I'm kind of worried about the samurai, but we'll see how it goes. Colin has been known to roll some fantastic dice. Our assassin's going to roll first because of her initiative order, and she has 2 luck. Now, of course, remember, she leveled up, and during that level, she gained an extra luck point, so she has 3 luck. I just need to get a 5+. So let's see that. Oh, no, she found a corpse token. I'm then going to go ahead and place that token right next to her. Oh, this is going to be terrible.
Sentaro will get to roll 2 dice for his, and oh, so close, but still no cigar. That means we definitely have another corpse token. Let's put this one back here, shall we?
Our sorceress has a 3 luck. Let's see how it goes. It wasn't too lucky for the assassin. Oh, she did actually do it. She got a 5, so that's fantastic. Now she, of course, gets to draw a loot card. She's laughing at these guys as they find a pile of bones. Let's see what she found. She found a gold nugget stash. Look at this thing. I get to roll D6 and I gain plus 50 for all of those. So let's see how much we get. We got a total of 3. So that means we're going to get 150 gold. So just like before, we're going to grab our 150. Of course, like I've said before, these are sword and sorcery coins, but I still like having the actual physical components. They're pretty cool.
Finally, it's our samurai warrior. He gets to roll 1 die and he rolls a 2. That's pretty terrible. He also finds a cadaver. We'll place that right here.
We have finally finished with the fallen bodies, and we found a lot of fallen bodies. Now it says at the end of turn, roll for corpse token rising up as though it were a fight. Now normally that's what we do next, but it's not that time yet. We actually have found a dead end. Like I said, this shouldn't normally be, it should be a dead end, but just for theme purposes, we're going to go ahead and keep it there. So I actually have to roll on our special rules for dead end showdown. If I roll a 1, we have an epic fight. If I roll a 2 or 3, we're going to have a normal threat. And if I roll a 4 or 6, there's no extra threats here. So let's go ahead and roll that up and see what we get. We got a 4, which means there is no extra threats. We actually have saved ourselves from any major encounters. We just have a bunch of corpses that might rise up. Now, of course, one thing I forgot about, of course, she has Blood of the Dragon. At the start of your turn activating, you get to heal D3 wounds. Well, she has a ton of wounds. I'm going to take advantage of this. Even though it's not the start of turn, I'm going to take advantage of it because I should have done it. She was able to heal herself 1 wound, bringing her down to 5. That's at least half the battle to getting some of these wounds off of her.
Next, our monk is going to go ahead and use the monk staff here. At the end of each turn, you may heal 1 wound from every other adjacent hero. I have 2 heroes that are adjacent to me, both which are wounded. I'm also going to discard 2 key tokens to add plus 2 healing to that, so I'm healing for a total of 3.
Thanks to the awesome healing, our ninja is down to 1 wound, and our sorceress only has 2. Oh, that's a good way to get rid of some of those broken bones.
Finally, we will do our corpse rise up as well. And then at the end of each turn during a fight, technically we're not in a fight, but we still have to do it due to that encounter. As long as there's at least 1 hero or an enemy model in the same map tile as a corpse token, roll a d6. On the roll of 1, remove it. On a roll of 5 or 6, replace it with an undead. If you do not have the undead, place instead, remove the marker and move the darkness up 1 space. So let's see, Barrett, roll up. Do we have to roll it per token?
Correct.
Oh, that's terrible. So you're rolling 3 dice?
Yes, 3 dice. Here we go. All right, ready?
No.
Oh, look at that. I only got 1 6.
Oh, that means only 1 enemy is going to spawn. That's great. And the other 2 will just hang around and they won't do anything.
Now, of course, I rolled a bunch of dice, but forgot to say which tokens are which. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, in the spirit of this, we're just going to roll dice. So it's 5 and 6. It's this one right here. It is rose up and is ready to take us on. Now, of course, these tokens stay there and they might rise up again. Coming to the end of the turn, we're now going to go to the top and we're going to have to hold back the darkness.
Let's see if we can hold back the darkness with 2 dice. No, we definitely can't. So what we're going to have to do is move this forward 1 space and, of course, move this around. And now we're going to have to draw a darkness card. So what we have for our darkness card is Horrors beyond measure. Oh man, the power of darkness seems to grow with every passing moment. Every hero immediately loses all grit. Well, that's great. That means we're losing 2, 3, 4, 5 grit in total.
Kasumi's going to go ahead and go first. She has a 6 initiative, so she's going to go ahead and roll up her speed. She got a total of 5, plus she gets that +1 for 6, so check this plan out. We're going to go ahead and move right to here, and now I can go ahead and throw my shuriken. It says once per fight, you can use this with a range of 5. It has 2 shots. May be used at any time during your move, but only not while adjacent to an enemy. And I'm not adjacent to an enemy right now, so I'm going to go ahead and throw those shurikens. I get to roll up 2 dice, and my ranged attack stat is 4. So we need a 4 better. I got 2 5s. That's great. Now, sadly, she can't take advantage of her deadly ability she has because I am not adjacent to the enemy. So I'm not able to do that, and of course I can't also take advantage of my extra criticals because that's only on my ninjatu that my criticals are on a 5+. So instead we hit this thing twice. Let's see how much damage we do to it. We've done a total of 4 and 3. Oh, that's sad news. Sad news city, because our thing has 4 defense, so it's just going to soak up all those shurikens. Oh, bummer. All right, we're going to continue moving though, and we're going to keep on moving. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. She can move over enemies, so she can go ahead and move basically through anything. She's amazing. I'm going to get rid of this encounter token. We don't need that there anymore. And she's going to go ahead and see if she can hit with these ninjatus. That's going to be the plan. Now, before I do, though, I have to remember this thing has Fear 1. A hero starting their activation adjacent automatically takes a horror hit. So I actually have to do that. And she has a sanity of willpower of 4. Does she survives the sanity hit. So she doesn't actually take any of that fear. She's not afraid of this. It's only 1. How can you be afraid of just one of these guys? She's going to go ahead and roll her combat, which is 2. She's looking for a 5+. She got a 5+. That's a critical hit. She's going to roll up her damage. Come on, something good. That's 2. That's enough to knock him down. So we're going to go ahead and place the corpse token back on the board. But hopefully, if we don't find any other, if we're not in any type of battle, these are not going to rise up, and that's going to be fantastic. All right, that's the end of her turn. She's done everything she can, and technically, that was a battle. So we're able to catch our breath, which is pretty much the fastest catch of breath I've ever had. Since she did something, she gets to roll a D3 to heal, and she rolled a 5. That's enough to heal her 1 wound. I'm just going to have our Sorceress go next. She gets to roll a D6, so she's going to go ahead and roll. She got 5. Wow, these guys are healing everything. I'm going to go ahead and heal both of those wounds off of her.
Shintaro has no damage or sanity damage, so he's just going to recover a grit for this. And then our warrior is going to go ahead and roll a die, and he's going to heal 5 sanity. That is ridiculous. He has a total of 4 sanity damage on him, so he's going to take all of that off. We are healed. You know, I'm actually glad that guy rose up. This is going to end the round. However, Shintaro does get to gain 1 key because he had his turn by simply gaining a grit. So now we're going to try and hold back the darkness. Let's see if I can do a little bit better than last time. Oh, no, I can't. Double 4s means the roof is falling on top of us. As we can see here, the broken and splintered ceiling once again of the fortress is unstable. Each hero in the fortress immediately takes 3 hits and they do 2 wounds each. Let's all try and defend.
Our quest giver definitely wasn't kidding when he said this is a broken down fortress. We're going to go ahead and see if we can dodge some. We dodged 2 of them this time. We're only going to take 2 for our assassin, which is fantastic. We're going to go ahead and put them on her card.
Next to go will be the monk looking for 4 pluses. He blocks 2 out of the 3, so he'll also take 2 damage.
Let's see how our Sorceress did. She's a 5+, and she did as well as she did last time. Yes, 6 wounds.
Finally, our warrior will go, and he only needs a 3+, so actually he'll block 2. He'll only take 2 damage for that final hit.
We did, of course, get to hold back the darkness, even though everything fell on our heads yet again. We're going to go ahead and roll for our movement for Kasumi. She got a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, because she gets +1 movement. I'm going to move these tokens over there, because we're actually going to go this way now. She's going to go ahead and be done with her activation. We're going to go ahead and move into our traveling monk.
He'll, of course, will start the turn by grabbing another key. That's his second one. He'll roll for movement. He gets a 6. My goodness, why can't we roll that when we're doing some sort of combat? We'll go ahead and take our head to turn here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move to here, and let's go ahead and peer. You can't see we're just off. We'll peer off, and we will find... We have found the burning room. Oh, look at this. This room has two different exits.
We have our new tile on the board, and I placed it just like it's supposed to according to our card. Now, there are 2 different exits from this room, and we're going to go ahead and place our next exploration token into to the middle of this room, and that's going to be the end of Shintaro's turn. He's going to have peered in there. Now, of course, he does get experience points with this, and I haven't really been mentioning so much of the experience points. At the end of this video, I'm going to be tallying them all up, and I'll go ahead and put the numbers in the description. I might even put a subtitle, and I'll probably say it too. So you'll get it 3 different ways, but at least you'll know how everybody's doing experience-wise. That's going to be the end of his turn. We're going to move into the Sorceress's turn. The Sorceress is going to go ahead and see what she gets. Well, I know what she gets first. She gets the Blood of the Dragon. I'm not going to forget this. Healed D3 wounds. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and roll the die. We got a 5. That's 3 wounds. All right, we're going to get rid of this 5 token and put 2 there, bringing her total down to 3, which is going to be great. We're going to go ahead and roll her movement, and she got a total of 5. Yes, she's rocking a 5. 1, 2, uh-oh. I don't want to get in anybody's way. I really want that samurai to get up here before we have to deal with what's in that room. She's actually going to step back, or maybe she's, you know, yeah, she's going to step back. She's going to hook everybody, and she's going to take them all with us. So she's going to go ahead and now put herself back on the board. Perfect, just like that. She's hopefully going to not kill everybody like you did last time. Okay, we're going to move with our samurai now before she does any more destruction.
Our samurai is now going to move really fast and get a 6. That was absolutely epic. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And did you see? He didn't hook onto anybody. What an amazing move.
We've all activated, so we're going to go ahead and check out our exploration token. Come on, be something nice. We found an encounter ×2. Wow, we got to draw 2 of these cards? Oh, this could be bad news. Now, of course, there are 2 different exits from this room, but according to our scenario, we're going to have to use these in a little bit different than the actual purpose. So our scenario is telling us that every time we get an encounter or things with doors, we have to roll a die. If we get a 4 through 6, that actually means that, again, we have found a dead end. And of course, we're looking for all the different dead ends so that we can say that we've explored the entire fortress. Now, since we're only here on the depth track, well, actually it's around 14 because we explored a new room. We're going to go ahead and have to roll a 4 through 6. If we move up this track, it becomes easier to find dead ends. A 3+, and if we're up here, we automatically find dead ends. But we want to stay down here because it's nicer down there. We're going to roll up our 2 dice. The red one is going to be the top one, and the white one is going to be the bottom one. So we're going to roll them up and see what we get. If we get 4 or 6, we lost 1 place. So we're going to go ahead and block off this one down here, which means we still can go this way. And now we have to resolve our 2 encounters, which are going to be absolutely epically bad. All right, our first one is Splintered Roof. Oh, we know all about this. We've seen this a lot. It says, with a crack, splintered timbers from the broken ceiling begin to collapse in on the room. And I think our Sorceress is probably going insane right now. All right, it says, grasping the falling beams, you struggle against the massive weight to hold up long enough for everyone to get clear. Okay, now one person's going to test a strength 3. If successful, you're going to gain 10 experience points for each hero in the party, including yourself and allies. If you fail, every hero is going to take 3 hits that do 2 wounds each. Guess who doesn't like that? She doesn't like that. So we're going to bank on our samurai to hold up this beam as it splinters down on top of us. We're going to bank on the samurai doing it, and he's going to need a 6+, and he gets 5 dice.
I get that 5th die because I have the Banner of the Fallen House. Let's give her 5 dice a roll. Come on, 6, and I see 2 of them. I think we're good.
Totally, we held up the beam, so we don't take any damage, and he actually gets 10 experience points for each person. So he's going to gain a total of 30 experience points. Wow, what a boost for him. He kind of needed it. He hasn't really done much yet. Of course, we're in counter ×2, so we held up the beam. Let's see what else happens. We have boiling pots. They're coming too. A small kitchen area resides here in one corner. Though abandoned, several large pots still sit over the fire, bubbling and boiling. The smell of fetid meat hangs in the air. Peering into one of the pots, you stir it with a long-handled ladle. Why would you do this? Churning its contents to the surface. All right, one person's going to test luck, which would have been strength. If successful, a hearty soup is ready to eat. Gain 25 experience points. Each hero may heal 3 wounds or recover 1 grit. All right, if we fail, the bloated visage of the human faces rise to the surface, peering up at you from the stew. Take 3 horror hits and add growing dread card to the stack. Well, that's a double whammy right there. All right, we're going to find out who has the best luck. I think it might actually be Kasumi. Kasumi normally has a 2, but because of the level up, she actually has 3. She does have the most luck of all of our characters. Now, sadly, she doesn't get to roll 5 dice, but oh no, she didn't get a 6. That's going to be terrible. So we're going to have to deal with all of this. So she is going to have to, failed? She's going to have to take, oh no, it's everybody, right? Visage human faces. Nope, just her. 3 horror hits and add a growing dread card to the stack. All right, 3 horror hits, and she's got a 4+ willpower. So we're going to roll up our willpower save. Let's see how this goes. We saved 1, so we are going to take 4 sanity hits, which is too bad. And now we have to draw a growing dread card. Oh, these aren't going to be very good. Let's see what this one says. Now, of course, normally you would put them in a stack and you would resolve these when you get to your last battle. In this scenario, that's not happening. In this scenario, we have a special rule that says we just keep drawing these and we have to keep dealing with them. It says right here, horrific dread. The darkness sees with evil as the shadows all around you begin to take on nightmarish shapes, twisting to form your worst fears. The darkness moves 1 step forward on the depth track. If this moves into a blood splatter or growing dread space, each hero also takes 2 horror hits that do 2 sanity damage each. Well, lucky for us, check it out. It's moving up 1, nothing. We were able to save ourselves from this growing dread card. I am still going to keep it out on the board because technically they're supposed to stay there. But of course, this one's kind of been resolved. We're not going to have to worry about it anymore. We survived 2 encounters. We sealed off 1 place. We just have to go up this way. And since that's the end, we're just going to go right back to holding up the darkness.
So before we hold up the darkness, what we're going to do is have our monk do his heal ability at the end of the turn. He can heal both the samurai and the sorceress for 1 damage. That means both the samurai has 1 damage left and the sorceress has 2 damage left. Now let's roll for holding up the darkness. Come on, let's hold it up. We've got 10 and it's not doubles. That's beautiful.
Since we're able to hold up the darkness so well, we're going to go ahead, and of course that might be a recurring joke now from now on, we're going to go ahead and move into the assassin's turn. One thing I want to mention is she has 10 sanity, but remember, she leveled up, so she actually has 13 sanity, so she does have some more sanity that she can take that above this 10. The other thing I could have done is, sadly, I forgot about my potion tokens. They are able to give me +2 to some rolls when I did my skill check, so I could have probably used that for my luck, but that's okay. We're going to keep going. We're going to have fun. I'm going to go ahead, get my +1 move, and we're going to keep rocking it. With our 6 initiative, our ninja, the Black Lotus, is going to go moving 4. Now she gets, of course, +1, so she gets 5. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, she's so close to getting past her. I think because of that, she's actually going to move back 1, so somebody else might be able to move up and actually peer through that door easier. Now that she's done moving, she is going to scavenge this room and see if she finds anything awesome. She didn't. She found nothing but flaming debris.
Let's see if our monk can do a little bit better. He'll go ahead and roll, and he gets a grit. I'll take that. So that's his 2nd grit. Actually, he has another one from before. So he has a total of 2 grit, and he's going to take 1 large step right here. But he is in that room, which means he can try and scavenge. Let's see if he can do better than the assassin. And he definitely can't. No, there's really nothing in this room, apparently.
Our sorceress is going to move by walking up and kicking the monk who got in his way. She moves total of 6, so she's going to move 1 and kind of hang out right there. Now she is technically in the room because she's right on these 2 squares here, so she's going to roll 3 for her scavenge. Let's see how she does. And apparently, wow, all we find is burning things and nothing. I also get to go ahead and heal D3 wounds. We're not going to forget that, even though we almost did. She does heal those 2 wounds she had. She would have healed 3, but she's going to heal 2. Wow, I'm really digging Blood of the Dragon. So far, that's my A game right there.
Finally, even though Barrett said that our warrior hasn't done much this game, he's going to be able to move 4 and be able to peer out into looking at the next tile, which is great. Let's go ahead and do that. First, we will draw this card. And what do we have? We have the library. He had this one last time too. It only has 1 exit. Looks pretty awesome. We tried to place the library, but unfortunately it didn't work. It's too big. So instead, we're just going to discard it. We're going to go ahead and grab a new one, and we're going to grab a short passage. Now this one will have no exploration token, but we will be able to move up 1 on this track because we've now explored a new room. Now I can still go ahead and scavenge, so let's go ahead and try and scavenge in this room. Looking for a 6, and I don't get one. Bummer, didn't find anything. So I did forget that the monk should have gained 1 key token. So the monk has a total of 3 key tokens now. Now let's try and hold up that darkness. We'll roll 6 + 2, we're good to go. So that will mean we'll move to the assassin.
Our assassin's going to go ahead, roll movement. We're going to hopefully get a big number. We got a 5, yes! So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I really hope that monk can catch up to her sometime because she's kind of hurting, and I'm really hoping on that, banking on it. We're going to go ahead now and peer through the door there and see what we found. We're going to go ahead and reveal our card. We found a long passage. Now this also doesn't get any exploration tokens, but we're going to go ahead and place that down. We are going to go ahead and scavenge. Now we're going to scavenge in that room right there. Roll up our dice. I need oh wow, none of our guys can find anything. This place has been looted.
Our monk will be next to go. He will first gain his 4th chi. Woohoo! And then he's going to roll for movement, and he gets a 6. That's absolutely beautiful. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just what he wanted to do, get next to that assassin. He'll roll 3 to see if he can find anything, and he doesn't either. It has definitely been looted, Barrett.
Let's see if our sorceress can keep up with these guys. Nope. She got a 1. She's going to go ahead and move 1, but she does get to gain a grit, which is going to help a lot. And since we haven't found anything in this room, she's going to go ahead and scavenge and see if she finds something. Nope, nothing again. Unbelievable, man. Something else.
Finally, our warrior will move. He's going to move a whopping 2 spaces. That's perfect. Let's see if he can do some scavenging. If he can't, I'm just going to decide that none of us can find anything here, right? No, he did find something. We've got a 6. So we're going to grab a scavenge token, and then we're going to shuffle these up. Our awesome Barrett shuffle. And let's draw, let's do this one. This one looks good. And what we find is nothing here. Just 10 XP. Woot.
We'll go ahead and place our scavenge token on the board.
At the end of the turn, since our samurai and the assassin is next to our monk, they'll each heal by 1. That means the assassin has 1 damage and the samurai is fully healed. Now let's go ahead and hold up that darkness. We'll roll. 4 plus 2 is 6, you guys. Bummer, not enough. We're going to have to move this green marker here, which means we're going to draw a darkness card. Let's see what we find. We have Dark Frenzy. 1 random hero is temporarily gripped. Hey, we saw this in your last play. Gripped by a dark and vengeful spirit. Every other hero on the same map tile immediately takes a number of wounds equal to the possessed hero's strength, ignoring defense. Oh boy.
I'm not a fan of getting hit by the samurai just in case it happens, so Kasumi is going to go ahead and play this. Once per adventure, cancel a darkness card. So I've gone ahead and canceled the darkness card. Now I still get to gain the +1 spirit, but I don't get to do this anymore this adventure. Our assassin's going to go ahead and move first. Come on. Oh, she got a 6 again. She's on fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, maybe the other room's on fire, but she's still moving real fast. At the edge of the tile now, we're going to go ahead and peer into the next room. Let's see what we have found. Oh, we found the Koi Bridge. Oh, wow. I remember this. This was an epic fight in the last time. But we're going to go ahead and place this down. Now, one thing I want to mention, though, is advanced dark reflection. We're not playing with the advanced rules. If we did, we would actually have to automatically draw this encounter when this is placed on the board. But we're not playing with that. We're just going to go ahead and put this down, put an encounter token or an exploration token on it, and continue on. We found an awesome koi pond. We're going to go ahead and move this up. Now we're getting closer to the next level, which means it's going to be easier to find some of these exits. We're going to go ahead, place an exploration marker down, and that's going to be the end of her turn. I lied. We're going to scavenge in here because you know what? There's so much in this place. Let's see what we find. We have found, yep, that's what I thought.
Our monk is going to go next. He'll gain his 5th key. He's got so many keys, it's ridiculous. He's going to roll, and he's going to get a 1, so he's going to grab he can't grab a grit. He already has 2 grit. The nice thing is I can immediately use that grit that I earned there to move. So I'm just going to roll another d6 in. Beautiful. I can move 6 spaces. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Maybe and just stay right there. Stay behind so that the samurai can get up into that room. Then I'll go ahead and see if I can scavenge, and I find absolutely nothing either.
Our sorceress is going to do her best to try to catch up with this group. So we're going to go ahead and roll her movement die. And she got a 2. Oh, that's not the greatest. We're going to move her 1, 2. And I think at this point, I am going to use a grit. I have only 1. But we're going to go ahead and use that again to try to roll and get a better movement value. So we're going to add this to the 2 that we just got. A 6. That's perfect. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, see you later, 4, 5, 6, right up to there. And then since she's in this tile that sadly is a little off screen there, I didn't expect to go that far, we're going to go ahead and roll our scavenge dice and see if we can find anything. And she found, 2 missed, but 1 flew out of the dice tray. The other one, again, we didn't find anything in this place.
Our warrior will be last to go. We'll roll a 1, which means I get a grit. And I'm going to immediately use that after moving 1 space. I'm going to use that to roll again, you guys. I'm not even going to pick up that grit. Come on. I need to get in there. Oh, that's another 1. Wow. I don't know what he's tripping over, but he's tripping over a few things. He's over here. Let's go ahead and scavenge because, maybe he can succeed at that. And yes, he did. He got a 6. So let's grab our scavenge cards and let's see what we can find. Okay, come on. Be something good. Be something good. And we have to remember to put that token. We found something shiny. Roll a d6. If I get a 1 through a 4, it's a dark stone. 5, I draw a gear card. And 6, I draw an artifact. So I don't forget, I'll go ahead and put that scavenge token here. I will roll 1 d6, and we get a 6. That means I get to draw an artifact card. That is fantastic. Well, Barrett tells me these artifacts are amazing. So I'm hoping for something sweet for our warrior. Let's try this one. We have the Amulet of Jin. Break this amulet, discard it to immediately give the hero party a revive token.
Now that we've all taken our activations, we're going to go ahead and see what we have found in our exploration token. Oh, we found it in attacks. We're going to be attacked by a bunch of enemies. Also, there's 2 exits from here. But of course, this symbol right here means that we have to block off one of the exits. And that means we're going to be rolling to see if the other exit is even viable. Or who knows, we might have found the end of this whole adventure. So we're seeing if that door is there. And we got a 5, so that means the door is gone, not there. So we actually have found the final room in this place because, of course, the other path led us to a dead end already. So the next thing we have to do is roll for our dead end showdown. And it could add even more enemies to this board. It could be out of control. We're going to roll up our die and see what we get. We got a 3, which means we are going to add a normal threat to the exploration token. So that means we're going to be attacked by not only 1, but 2 different medium threat monsters that are going to come from our deck. So we're going to go ahead and take our deck right here, give it a good old little truffle shuffle here, and see what 2 we get. We're just going to take these top 2. We have to deal with a threat die worth of Tengu. Oh, flying guys, that's bad news. And a threat dice worth of Dishonored Dead that never seem to want to fall down and die. All right, we're going to go ahead and get these ready for the board.
For the Tengu, we're going to have a total of 3, and then for our Dishonored Dead, we're going to have a total of 4.
We're going to place all the enemies out on the board, and they go out in initiative order from the farthest position of where you are. So our Dishonored Dead have an initiative of 2, and our Tengu have a massive initiative of 7. So it's actually the battle of 2 different groups. We're going to have the Tengu are always going to be going first, and then we're going to be pretty much all going, and then these guys are. So we're going to place the Dishonored Dead back here. Since they have the lowest initiative, they're going to be as far away from us as they can be. And the Tengu are going to be a little bit closer because their initiative is more. So we're going to put them here and here. Now, of course, I'm also going to put one over here. Oh, I could put one right here, I think. That would be the best plan for them. And then we filled up all the back row, this row, and then we're coming into this row just like that. I think that's going to be the best way to set it up. It might be it might be in one of these 2 places. We're going to keep it like that. Everything's just fine. We got our guys on the board. We're going to continue into our round and see what we can do to these guys.
Let's go ahead and hold up the darkness, as Bernd always says. Oh, we've got an 8 and not doubles.
The first group of monsters I want to talk about are Tengu. They're going to be activating first with their initiative of 7. They are a demon, myth, dragon army. Those are their keywords, and actually the myth one is going to come into play when it comes to our monk's turn. Our monk is going to be doing extra damage to this monster and also doesn't have to worry about any type of fear things from them. They have a few abilities. Their flight is the first one. It says it allows them to move through other models and change target each turn. Normally when a monster is base to base with a character, they will not actually move to fight another person until that person is done. But these guys fly all around the board. It's pretty awesome. They are also sword masters. Tengu's 2 hit rolls of 6+ do double damage. Now their damage is down here, it's 2, so they'd be doing 4 damage, and I don't like that at all. And of course the last one is parry. This is a really bad one for us if we roll a bunch of 1s. For each 2 hit roll of 1 that an adjacent hero rolls, cancel their highest rolled successful hit, and if there are no successful hits left to cancel, instead the enemy does 1 free combat hit to that hero outside of the normal turn sequence. This ability applies for each Tengu model adjacent. This is absolutely terrible. We want to take these guys out fast and not miss. Now they are going to go to attempt to hit us with a 3+. They get to roll 3 combat dice, needing a 3+, and they're going to be doing 2 damage each time they hit with their hits. Now, of course, we get 35 experience points. We kill them, which hopefully we kill them all. They have a defense of 3, so when we do hit them, if it's not a critical, we have to get higher than a 3 to even damage them. And they've got 5 health. If you want to escape from this creature, when you're adjacent to it, you have to roll a 4+ in order to do that. Now remember, our monk actually has an aura that is allowing him to escape from any monster at a 2+. And they move 10, so we're definitely not getting away from these guys at all. And that's the Tengu. They're going to go ahead and go first. To determine who they're going to fight, we have these special tokens with all of us on here: Assassin, Sorceress, Samurai, and also our Monk. We're going to mix these up a little bit, and then we're going to draw a token. Our first one's going to go at the Samurai Warrior. So he's going to come running down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Their goal is to be as far away so that more people can come in to attack them. So that's the Samurai Warrior. Once he has been targeted by an enemy, the other ones aren't going to target him until the other ones have all been targeted. So we're just going to go ahead and flip over our next one. Oh, our Sorceress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one's going to come down to here. And then our last person to be targeted is our Traveling Monk. So the person actually opened the door doesn't even get one of these people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. He's going to stop right there. So we've gone ahead and gotten targeted by all the Tengu. Now, well, hopefully they don't do too much to us. Our first Tengu is fighting the Samurai Warrior, and he rolls up only 2 hits, but check it out, he got a 6. And because of that, he's a Swordmaster. This hit is going to be doing double damage.
Our red die will go for the double damage hit, and remember, I need a 3+ to block these. Ooh, I got that on the double hit, but I failed to block on this one. So that would mean normally I'd be taking 2 points of damage, but I have armor. Because I have armor, I can roll 2 white dice per those 2 points of damage, and on a 5+, I'll block them. And so I blocked 1. So that means I only took 1 wound for that attack. Take that. Now the Tengu that is targeting the Sorceress is going to roll, and he gets only 2 hits.
Our Sorceress is rocking a 5 defense. Oh, she didn't block either one of those. So she's actually going to take 4 damage, and she doesn't have any way to stop it. Sadly, she does not have any armor. So she's going to go ahead and gather up 4 wounds onto her card, leaving her with only 6. Oh, I hope that monk can get back down and maybe help her out. The final Tengu is going to go ahead and hit the monk, and he only hit the monk twice. Oh, nope, twice. I'm wrong. He hit him twice. Let's see what he can do about that.
With that roll, I was able to block 1 of them, but not the other. So that means I'll take 2 points of damage. I already had 2 on me from before, so that means I have 4 damage, but I do have 12 health in total.
I'm going to go ahead and start with Kasumi, and she's going to go ahead and use this. Since we're all on this map tile, it's a great time to use it. It says, once per adventure, heal 2 wounds or sanity, any mix from each hero on your map tile, including yourself. So we're going to go ahead and, but I still get to keep the +1 spirit, but we're going to go ahead and remove some stuff. First off, our assassin's going to lose sanity. Now, sadly, I probably shouldn't have this much sanity. I forgot to use my spirit armor when I got hit, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and lose 2 from that. She's also going to heal 2 wounds from the Sorceress.
This will heal 1 from the Samurai Warrior, 1 wound, and 2 wounds out of the 4 on the Traveling Monk. Thank you.
Our assassin now is going to go ahead and move, and she's going to roll her die. She got a 6, so she's a total of 7 movement, while she could almost take out some of the undead if she wants to, but she's not. She's actually just going to move 1, and she's going to move a little bit off camera, but just for a second. She's from there, not adjacent to any enemies, so she can go ahead and use the shuriken, which I have a range of 5. I got 2 shots, and it may be used at any time during your move, but not while you're adjacent to enemies, and I'm not, so I can go ahead and make my range attack. I have 2 shots, so we get to roll 2 dice. I need to hit a 4+. And we got a 6 and a 5. Now the 6 is a critical hit, which is fantastic, which means I get to go ahead and do damage without it actually worrying about his armor. The other one is not a critical hit. Now I could go ahead and use my power that I have. Deadly accuracy, being able to turn that other hit into a critical hit, but I'm not going to. We're just going to go ahead and roll it up. Our red die is going to be the critical hit. And we got a 6 with that one, which is super good because we're able to take this guy out. He only has 5 health and his defense doesn't play into it, so she gains 35 experience points and she's jumping for joy and this guy is not. Now we still have 4 more movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come back into this room here, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can take this guy out with our ninjatsu. So we're going to roll our combat hits, our critical hits on a roll of 5 or plus. Let's hope that happens. Now, since she's adjacent to only 1 monster when making this attack, she can use her deadly power. It says that your combat hits ignore armor on an enemy as long as they're, and gives +1 damage as long as you're the only one adjacent to it. Oh, it's going to be awesome. I think we're going to be able to take out 2 people in 1 turn. Of course, I shouldn't jump the gun on this. We're going to take our 2 dice, roll up our combat hits, and see what we got. Of course, I jumped the gun. Sadly, I got a little bit too excited. Now we're going to have to worry about this parry. Since I rolled a 1, that means that this monster right here, this Tengu, is going to go ahead and do 1 free combat hit to that hero outside of the normal turn sequence, since I don't have any other successful hits that it could have gotten rid of.
Here's the attack from that Tengu, and it's a 4. Unfortunately, it's higher than a 3, so it's a hit.
With my 4 defense, we're going to try to block that. Oh, wow. What a end of an awesome turn for our wonderful assassin. And each of those combat hits from the Tengu do 2 damage. We're going to put that on our assassin. She has taken 3 total wounds. Shintaro's going to be going next, but there's a couple things I want to talk about. One, I don't think I mentioned about the old lantern. The reason why Colin has been rolling all of our Hold Back the Darkness rolls is because the person with the light source is in charge of that.
Our monk's going to go ahead and roll for movement, and he gets a total movement of 2. Well, that's great. All he needed is 1. He's going to turn himself over here and move up next to this Tengu. Let's go ahead and attack. Before I do an awesome attack against this Tengu, I am going to gain my 6th key. So that means I'm really going to need to use some of these because I can't gain any more than 6. So let's go ahead and attack. Now we're going to attack with our staff. We get to do a combat roll of 2 dice, and I'm trying to get a 4 or higher to hit. Let's see. Well, I got a 4 there, and the other one danced off. Ooh, I got 2 4s. That is 2 hits. Awesome. Since I do have my monk staff equipped as using both of my hands, your combat hits may use the D8 for damage. So let's go ahead and give our D8 a roll. Oh, a 2. That's terrible. Don't forget, because of my Yamabushi ability, I have +1 damage on all attacks against myth enemies. Unfortunately, their defense is 3, so they're fully going to block that attack. I could use some key tokens to try and increase that, but I think instead I'm just going to roll it up again because I did do 2 damage or 2 attacks that are 2 combat dice that hit. So let's try this again. Oh, an 8. That will work. Our monk was able to take out that Tengu and gain 35 XP. Heck yeah.
Next in initiative order is our Sorceress. Now our Sorceress is going to gain 4 mana. She should be gaining this every turn, but we haven't really had a need for it, so that's why I haven't actually been talking about gaining mana. But at the beginning of her activation, she's going to go ahead and gain 4 mana that she can spend to cast her spells. And with those 4 mana tokens, I can go ahead and use them to cast the spells. Now, the thing about the spells I've chosen that I didn't realize until, well, actually I started looking into the spells, is that every one of them is going to use this spell as a ranged attack. Now, you're only allowed to do 1 ranged or melee attack per turn, so I can only actually ever cast one of these spells a turn. So we'll have to figure out which one's the best one at this time. Now, before we do cast any spells, we are going to use the Blood of the Dragon. So let's see how many wounds we're able to heal. That's 3. That's fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 wounds she has off. She's back to normal. Wow, that was awesome. I was really worried about her. Now I'm not too bad. Now, of course, I do have my demon bag with my arcane powder. So when I do roll, I'm going to have to try to roll this number or better in order for these to actually work. Now, if I go with my elemental blast, that automatically kicks off, and I'm going to do what it says in the card. So we'll just figure out what is the best spell for this predicament. The only spell we really have that's going to help right in this situation is just going to be our Elemental Blast. So we're going to go ahead and use 2 of our mana tokens to go ahead and cast this spell, leaving us with 2 other ones. Now, if I had a spell that wasn't a ranged attack or a melee attack, I could go ahead and cast that spell as well, but we don't. Now, this one's going to count as a spell from our keyword, and keyword is fire, and if it no matter what it was, this would be a member of the keyword. The keyword itself is going to give us a +1 since it is part of our magic focus. The focus I have is fire. But no casting rolls needed. So I don't have to actually roll a casting roll like I would if I were to be using something like Dragon Fire. I'd have to roll the 6+. But of course, since it's a fire keyword or fire magic focus, I would be rolling a 5+. I know it's kind of a lot. Spells are a little weird sometimes, but I'm hoping I can explain this well. It has a range of 8. Well, I'm only shooting 1 square. It has 1 shot, so I'm only able to roll 1 dice. But when I roll this, for each hit rolled, it's going to count as D3 hits. So if I do hit it, I'm going to roll to see how many hits I do on the target. If this is actually a critical hit, I'm going to roll to see how many critical hits I actually hit this target with. So let's go ahead and roll up our 1 shot and see how it goes. We got a 5. That's not a critical, but it is enough to hit because she has a 4 for her ranged attack. So this does hit. So we're going to roll to see how many hits it got hit with. A 4. So that means we did hit it with 2 hits. So we're going to go ahead and roll up 2 dice to see the damage we do to this thing. We've done a total of 5 and we've done a total of 2. So sadly the 2 isn't going to do anything to us because of course our Tengu has a 3 defense. But the 5 is going to break through that defense and it's actually going to do 2 damage to this Tengu down here. So we're going to put a couple wound tokens there to show how much we did. And that's the end of our Sorceress. Of course, I did also forget to roll her movement die. Even though she's adjacent to a monster, and she actually probably isn't going to move, you still roll the die, because who knows, you might get that grit. Let's roll it up. She did not get the grit. She got just 1 too many. But she's not actually going to move. She's just going to stay right there, do that spell, and that's the end of her turn. The Dishonored Dead are going to be going next. Their initiative is 2. Now our Samurai Warriors is also 2, but the enemies always move first in initiative order when it comes to a tie. The Dishonored Dead have an Undead Soldier and Samurai keywords, so this isn't going to be more beneficial to the Monk. It doesn't have that Myth keyword. Now they do have a power up here called Fear 1. A hero starting their activation adjacent to this character will automatically take 1 horror hit, which of course we can block with our Sanity. She has Tattered Armor, so he has an armor of 5+, very similar to our Samurai. It can also rise from the grave. Now we've seen this. This is fantastic. When killed, we're going to place a corpse token in the space. Now no loot cards are drawn after any fight that has 2 or fewer Dishonored Dead and no other enemies. During the fight, heroes may still catch their breath. So just like we did in the last time we kind of encountered these guys, we only fought one of them. We didn't get a loot card, mainly because we also didn't draw a card from our threat deck when we were fighting that. For every threat deck card you draw, you're going to gain a loot at the end of combat. But also, we were able to catch our breath, remember, after that fight, which was pretty awesome. he has a 5+ melee, so he's not too good at swinging, but he's going to roll 4 dice, which is amazing, and does 3 damage for each hit, so it's pretty rough. They're only going to move 2. They're, of course, undead. They're not going to move too fast. These aren't the 28 Days Later zombies. These are just the regular zombies. It has escape of 5+. It has a 4 defense, and you have to do 2 health, and you kill it. Now, if you kill it, we're going to, of course, be placing the corpse token, and if this corpse token rises up again, that's another Dishonored dead, and if you kill that one, you're going to get another 30 experience points. So every time a Dishonored dead is on the field and dies, you get 30 experience. The other thing we're going to do is I'm going to place our 2 dead ends here because we forgot to do that when we placed all the enemies. These are going to now move 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. They're just marching on down the line. Hopefully we can take out this Tengu, and then we can start focusing on these guys.
Last to go will be our Samurai Warrior. He gets a total movement of 3. He's not going to move anywhere. Instead, he's just going to attack. He normally only gets to roll 2 dice, hitting on a 4+, but he does have his Warrior's Katana. That's going to give him +1 combat. And then once per turn, you can spend 2 Fury to add +1 damage. However, I haven't found any Fury yet because we haven't fought anyone. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 3 dice, hitting on a 4+. Let's see how we can do. Of course, I throw one way off. Oh, and we get a 1. That's not good. And another 1. That's definitely not good. So unfortunately, that 1 is going to cancel out my automatic success there, or my critical hit. And then the other one there means that they're going to do a parry hit on us. So that means they're going to roll 1 die, and let's see what happens.
I hope they don't hit you, Colin.
Oh, no, they got hit me for double hits. Double hits. However, I do get to roll first my defense. My defense is a 3 or higher. Nope, failed that one. So that means I will now try and roll for my armor, which is a 5+, and I'm getting hit for 4 damage. So Barrett fortunately grabbed me 4 dice for this. Let's see how I can do. Okay, I blocked 1. Yeah, I blocked 1. So that means I take a total of 3 damage. Wow, that was a terrible attack here. You know, before I take my damage, let's go ahead and use the Wall of Steel. Once per turn, you may re-roll any of your failed armor rolls, just roll. So that means I can re-roll all 3 of these. I'm looking for a 5+. I got 2 more, so that means I only took 1 damage instead of 3. Okay, I'll take that. Even though that does mean we did not take out that Tengu, and it's going to get another attack on us. Bummer. Our monk is going to try and hold back the darkness. Let's see how we do. We roll a 2 and a 1. That's an absolute failure. We're moving our green tracker here down to 5. Fortunately, nothing happens on these spots.
Our Tengu, of course, are going to go first to that initiative 7, and they have that flight ability, so they're going to move through other models and change targets each turn. So since we are going to go into the next turn, we're going to change his target. Let's see who it is. He's going to go ahead and fight the Traveling Monk. So he's going to go ahead and move his 10 spaces. Yep, 10. 1, 2, 3. He's actually just going to end right here. He's not going to stop there. He's going to try to get as far away from everything that's going on and still be able to attack that monk. So we'll see what he can do to the monk. He gets to roll 3 combat dice, and he's looking for a 3+ to try to hit him. And he got 2 critical hits. Well, they're not critical hits, sorry. They do double damage. So hopefully our monk can save those hits.
Our monk has a 4 for defense. Come on. A 5 blocks 1. The other one, though, deals 4 damage to him. And he already has 2 damage on him, so he's at 6 damage now.
Our ninja's going to go next, and I actually forgot to tell Colin, of course, with these power-ups that they all passed their levels, our monk actually has a starting value of 16 health. He got an extra 4 after his first mission into the Forbidden Fortress. So he actually is doing a little bit better than we thought. Now, I'm going to move into my assassin's turn, and we also forgot Colin should have used his ability to heal at the end with that staff, so I'm just going to take 1 wound off of the assassin. Our sorceress was at full power, so that's not going to affect us. Now we're going to go ahead and move into our assassin's turn. Our assassin's going to roll her movement and see what happens. She got a 3, which means she gets to move 4 spaces. I do have more shurikens. We're probably going to go ahead and use another shuriken. And the reason I have another shuriken is because I have this card. Once per fight, you may ready an exhausted shuriken item. So I'm able to ready this. And you can only use this once per turn. So I couldn't fire it and then use that power to ready it and fire it again during 1 turn. You can't do that. You can only do it once per turn. So we do have another shuriken if we want to fire it. It's kind of tough because, of course, we still have a lot more enemies. I think we're going to, though. He's going to move she's going to move 1, 2, 3, again off camera a little bit, but now she's not adjacent to any enemies, and she can go ahead and throw those shurikens. I'm going to roll a 4+ on my ranged attacks, and I got a 4 and a 3, so I did hit once. We're going to go ahead and see how much damage we do by rolling our damage die. And we did 6 damage. That's awesome. Now, of course, this Tengu already has 2 damage on him. He's going to soak up 3 of those damages, which means 3 are going to get through, which means 3 is going to kill this guy. He is dead from those shurikens. With one more movement, I'm just going to go ahead and move over in the corner over here. Yeah, I know I'm kind of being a little weak there, but I don't want these guys to come and hit me. We're going to stay right there, keep ourselves protected, and we'll let the other guys take care of these guys.
Our monk is going to go next. Unfortunately, I can't gain any more ki because I have a total of 6, so we'll just roll for movement. We get a 5. Our monk will go ahead and turn around and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's right here. And at this point, with 6 ki, you might as well use 1 to go ahead and move an additional 2, but I'll just move 1 right here. So I am right next to that samurai. Let's see if I can take him out. I'm going to roll 2 dice to attack, and I need a 4+. Well, I rolled 2 2s, so that's a total failure. But that's the whole reason why you have grit. I have 2 grit, so I'm going to spend 1 so I can re-roll those 2 junky dice. Let me grab 2 different ones. Let's see. Let's see if these 2 do better for me. Yeah, a 6 and a 5. That is much better. So one of those is a critical hit, and the other one isn't. So I'm going to go ahead and use, for this first roll, I get to roll a d8. This will be the critical hit. So whatever I roll will be damage. And I rolled an 8. I think that guy's dead. Totally dead. So that means we can place a corpse token in his space. We'll take him off the board, and potentially he could rise back up. But I still gain the 30 XP.
Our sorceress is going to go next. She's going to gain her 4 mana and go ahead and move. Let's see how far she goes. She goes 3 spaces. She's going to move 1, 2, 3. Now let's see what we can do. We can cast any one of these spells. Now she's got a spell called Dragon Fire, which allows me to put the template down, this flame template, and I can hit a whole bunch of people, but I don't think I'm going to be able to reach him. I can't. I could maybe reach here, but I don't think that's a logical plan. I think we're just going to go that way. We're going to fail that spell, but that's okay. I do have Fireball. I could cast that one as well. I can choose a space within 8 squares and roll. If I hit, then they're going to go ahead and any model in the final space takes D6 wounds, ignoring defense, while every other model in an adjacent space takes D3 wounds, ignoring defense. Of course, the deal is I've got to hit. If I don't, this thing could bounce around and potentially land somewhere else, dealing somebody else damage. But I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to cast this spell. So I'm going to use my 2 mana to cast the spell Fireball. And we're going to see if we're able to cast it. The first thing I have to do is try to beat the casting value of 9, but since it's a fire spell and I have chosen fire as my element, I get to only need an 8+. So let's see if we're able to do this. I got a 10. That totally means we're able to do this. So we're going to see what Fireball does. Since we are able to cast the spell, now we continue on down the card. And we're going to see a range 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, totally going to be able to hit this guy. I'm going to aim right there. That's my target. Now we're going to see if we're able to hit him. My ranged attack is a 4+. So we're going to roll up our die and see what we get. We got a 5. That's exactly what we need. With that amazing hit, I get to roll I'm going to roll a red die. This is going to be the D6 wounds that ignores armor, or ignores defense, sorry. While every other model adjacent to you takes D3 wounds, ignoring defense. Now it ignores defense, it doesn't ignore armor, they still get to roll their armor. But we're going to go ahead and roll these up. This is the D6, and these are the 2 D3s. And actually I can't do that, I got to figure out which one's which. So we're going to roll these up separately. This is our D6 firing at this guy. We've done a total of 6, he got absolutely rocked. He's going to take 6 armor hits, though. He gets to save against all these. He needs a 5+ in order to save against all these armor hits, because he doesn't get to use his defense. And he's blocked once, means he still takes 4 damage, which means he's going to be removed from the board. He's going to gain a corpse token. Now the other ones are going to have D3 wounds. We're going to start with this one over here. He's going to take 1. He's going to take 1 wound. He gets to go ahead and roll his armor against it. And he did not save, so he's going to take 1 wound. Oh, that's too bad. If he would have done 2 wounds, that would have been enough, but it's not. The next one is also going to take D3 wounds. Let's see how many he took. He did take 2 wounds, but he gets to roll his armor value. Let's see how that goes. He didn't save any of them, so he also falls and becomes a corpse token. Oh, that was amazing. Now, sadly, we didn't take, if we took this guy out, that would be it, but it's not. These guys could all rise up, and this whole battle could change in a moment's notice. We're going to go ahead and put our Fireball spell away. Oh, she hadn't done anything all game, but wow, when she counts, she counts. It's time for our samurai now to go ahead and use his turn as well. Our banged and battered skeleton is going to go ahead and move 2 spaces. 1, 2 to go ahead. Actually, he's going to move over here to go ahead and attack our monk. It's the only viable target, so that's who he is going to choose. And he's going to roll his 4 combat dice, needing a 5+. Oh my gosh, of course he had 3 times. Now, he doesn't get any bonuses for the 6s, but he still hit 3 times.
This means the monk will roll 3 dice for defense, and he blocks none of it. So I think that's another great time. I mean, we have this grit. Let's go ahead and use it for a reroll. Come on, let's flip all of those to 6s. What do you guys say? All right, let's see. Oh, well, we only got 1 we blocked. So that means the other 2 we take damage. That's 3 damage each for each one. That's 6 more damage. It's a good thing I have that additional 4 health. That's a total of 12 damage for our monk. Ouch. Our samurai will be the last to go. He's going to move a total of 5. Well, that's actually kind of a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's as far as he can go. And unfortunately, that's going to end the turn, which means we have the corpse rise up. At the end of each turn during a fight, as long as there's at least 1 hero or enemy model on the same map tile as a corpse token, roll a d6. On the roll of 1, remove it. On a roll of 5 or 6, replace it with a Dishonored Dead. If you do not have Dishonored Dead, blah, blah, blah. We do have one of those. Let's start by rolling for this one. We roll a 6, so why not? Let's go ahead and replace that with another Dishonored Dead because, you know, we want more to do. Let's do the next one over here. We're going to roll a 2. That means nothing's going to happen. And then we'll roll for the final one here. That is a 1. That means that one's going to be removed from the game.
Going in initiative order, our assassin's going to go first. Come on, the Black Lotus moves a total of 6. That's perfect. Now, I don't have any more shurikens, so we're just going to run up and bash this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to hide myself right back there because I can ignore models when I move. So we're going to move back there and we're going to attack with our ninjatu. So I've got the ninjatu. I'm going to go ahead and roll to see how we do. I get to roll 2 combat dice needing a 3+. And we got 1 3+. That's at least 1 hit. So we're going to go ahead and do our damage with our ninjatu. We did 2. Oh, that's not enough. We needed to get more than 4 because, of course, his defense is 4. So he's still alive and still kicking.
Now we're going to move to our wounded monk. Our monk will first gain his 6th key token, and I think it's time to use this healing stone that we have. Once per adventure, heal 2d6 wounds or sanity from a single hero. Unfortunately, I'm going to pick myself. I'd like to pick somebody else, but at this point, I think I need to do this. Oh, we're going to heal 10 damage. Wow, so that puts us down to only 2 damage left. That's awesome. Then let's go ahead and roll for movement. We rolled a 3. We're not going to move anywhere. We're just going to attack this guy. So we get to roll 2 dice. We need a 4 or higher to hit, and we get 2 of them. Awesome. So that means we get to roll a d8 for our damage. So our first attack will do a total of 5 damage. Now they have 4 defense, so that means he's getting hit for 1 point of damage. He'll roll 1 white die, trying to get a 5+ to block it. No, he does not. He is done for the count. So we'll remove him and drop another corpse.
Moving on to our Sorceress, she's going to go ahead and roll. Now, of course, I could do Blood of the Dragon. Don't need to. I don't have any damage. I am going to gain my 2 mana, so I have a total of 4 again. At the beginning of my turn, I'm going to roll my die to see how far we move. We move 1. I'm going to gain a grit for that, and I might not move, or I might take the move of 1, and now I just want to check. There's nothing in the rules that says I can't pre-measure. So we're going to go ahead and take our flame template here and see if we can put it down, because if we can do that Dragonfire spell, that'd be pretty awesome. Nope, I can't see him. We're going to go ahead and use that grit that we just got to extend our movement. So we're going to roll another die for our movement. We got a 6. That's going to be fantastic. I'm just going to move up to there, and I think that's going to be enough to get both these people in this flame template. Oh, you bet. We're going to go ahead now and try to attempt to cast Dragonfire. I'm going to use the spell as a ranged attack, so I'm still going to be in a ranged attack. I'm going to place the flame template as displayed in the rules. Every model touched by the template takes 1 hit that does d8 damage ignoring armor and cover, and any corpse tokens touched are destroyed on a d6 roll of 3+. Oh, that's so good. And notice down here, as we level our characters up, these spells are going to become more powerful. So this game's really cool that it keeps progressing. Even though you could do it as a one-shot, you can still do a fun campaign and gain levels and everything. All right, we're going to see if we can take this guy down, and who knows, maybe we'll take that corpse token with us. So to cast this awesome spell, I have to spend 3 mana, leaving me with only 1, but that's okay. Now, of course, I do have to actually cast the spell. So it's going to be a 6+, but of course, this is our focus, so it's only a 5+. So let's go ahead and roll those 2 dice and see what we get. We got a 5. That was just enough. Now, if I didn't make it, I still had an arcane powder, and I could have raised the number by 1. If we still needed the 6, I could have done it by using that arcane powder. That's kind of how this character all functions, just so you understand how it works. Because I'm hoping there's not going to be much left on this board after this. We're going to go ahead now and roll to see if we hit. We're going to use our ranged attack of a 4+, and we got a 5. That's enough to hit. Yes. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and do D8 damage to this figure right here. And we've done a total of 8. Oh, he ain't saving this. He gets to roll 8 armor saves. I'm just going to roll some dice and see what happens. Oh, wait, I don't have to roll those. It ignores armor. Now, the thing is, he gets to use his defense. It doesn't say anything about ignoring defense. It just ignores the armor. So he does have a 4 defense. But I got an 8. So, man, this guy's totally gone. 4 + 2 is 6. And I rolled an 8. That's enough to take this guy off the board. We're going to put another corpse token down. Now, we're also going to just have some fun and see if we can get rid of this corpse token. And that happens on a 3+. Nope, that corpse token stays there. But I think we're going to be okay because we've eliminated everything on the map and there's only corpse tokens left. Oh, wait, it's 3+. I rolled a 4+. Okay, yes, of course. I was thinking 3 or less. All right, this is gone. All right, we've totally taken that out. Wow, this was such a fun little fight. We got rid of all these guys. And with all the enemies being defeated, these are no longer going to rise up because technically we're not fighting anymore. We are done. We're going to be able to catch our breath. But since this is the end of the adventure, I don't think we're going to do the catch our breath because we get to heal all our stuff when we leave here. So we're going to take our loot deck, and every person gets to draw 2 loot cards because we're attacked by 2 different threat cards. So we're going to go ahead. I'll start with the ninja, or assassin, sorry. She's going to go ahead and gain Darkstones D3, and she's also going to gain gold bars. She's going to gain 250 gold bars. Let's go ahead and see how many Darkstones we get by rolling a D3. We got a total of 1. I got 1 more Darkstone, so she's actually carrying 2 Darkstones with her right now. We're going to go ahead and put these with her because you can't draw the same ones unless, of course, you've run out of cards and you still have to keep drawing your loot. So in initiative order, we're going to let our traveling monk grab some stuff.
Let's see what he gets. His first one will be blood money, a D6 times 25. And then his second one will be a just a Darkstone shard. So that'll be just one of those. So let's roll a D6 and we get a 5. That gives him $125. I'll go ahead and give both of these to our monk.
And our sorceress, who was kind of the leader on this tile, that's for sure. She hadn't done anything all game. It was so cool to see those spells. All right, we're going to go ahead and see. She found a sack of gold dust. Well, I guess things turn to dust when you shoot them with fireballs. All right, let's see what else we find. We have found this should come in handy. Draw a gear card or an artifact if you're in the other world, but we're not in the other world. The other world would be like the other side of these maps. Tiles all have like the belly of the beast is what they call it. So that's another world you can be going into. We're going to go ahead and take our gear deck and we're going to give it a good old truffle shuffle here and see what we find in our gear deck. Hopefully we find something that makes our sorceress better. We have found 2 potion tokens. Well, you know, it's better than that. Discard this card. So I'm going to go ahead and give these to our sorceress and put those in her side bag. She now has 3 things in her side bag. Max she can have is 5. We're going to go ahead and also give these to her too, just so we know who gets what, and I can help get the experience for everybody at the end.
Last but not least, we have our samurai warrior, who the only thing he did on this tile was damage himself. He will go ahead and get gold nuggets, D6 times 50. So we'll do that in a second. And his second one will be just 1 Darkstone shard. Let's go ahead and roll a die, and we get 3, so that's 150 gold.
This is going to bring us to the end of the adventure, so we get our rewards. Each hero is going to receive 25 experience points, plus we're going to get 50 gold for each number of steps on the depth track we were able to make. We went a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to get 5 times 50 in gold, which will be 250, and that's for each hero that was on this adventure. So we're going to take all that money, all that experience, and we're going to go into the town phase for our next part of the video. So there you have it. Our Shadows of Brimstone adventure is complete. We went through our second mission. Now after this mission, we're going to be going into the town phase and we're going to be powering up some of our guys, or hopefully we'll maybe getting some better equipment. Who knows, we might even upgrade some equipment we have. So I'm excited to show you the town phase for this game. That'll be coming up next. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when the town phase comes out so you can see what happens to our brave adventurers. Also, please leave anything else in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. Please, we also need names for our 2 characters. We need one for our samurai warrior and we need one for our sorceress. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. And again, thank you so much for watching. And if you're excited to see what happens to our brave adventurers in the next video, then I need you to meet me at the table.